Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess it's about time. That's right, folks. Welcome to the most interesting show in the world. I say that because tonight's going to be interesting. I didn't do any show prep. So we should be interesting, to say the least. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the one and only. Oh, now I got to turn it down. See? Good Lord, this thing. Every single time. It is now time for the one and only, world famous Rich Wilson Show, and it starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world famous Rich Wilson Show.
Hey, my buddy James is over here. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Wasn't it? I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. Was it Rathalos? I don't. Horrible with names. It's like my bro and everything, and I forgot his game name. It's all right. I'm just gonna call you James for now, unless I'm right. Then I'll start referring to you as that. I just trying to remember. Anyway, my brain is in a billion different places right now. If you haven't seen my Facebook page, you know that we got, if you have, you know we bought a brand new rooftop tent. And so, anyway, we bought a brand new rooftop tent. And so I decided randomly, I told my significant other, hey, we're going camping this weekend. We just bought the damn thing. Just got it set up. And, you know, and now we're going at random. So we've been trying to scramble around to get stuff because it's probably going to be one of the first times in a long time that I haven't been camping at a Renaissance event of some kind or LARPing event. Just to go camping for the hell of it. It's odd. It's like people are like, you're going to get bored. No, actually, it's going to be nice. I don't have to do shit. So anyway, I figured today we just pull up some random news footage and we'll just talk about it. See where it goes from there. So I've already got the YouTube fired up on here, and we'll see where that goes. Besides that, take your phone calls too. So I'll just put that here somewhere. Dave, where can we put that so even when I have the other thing up, it still shows up? That you can't see the whole number though, bro. How's that? That work? Can you see that? Be the whole thing. There we go. We're just doing this on the fly because why not? And then we can have that up there. You can still see it and everything's good. And we'll go over here and let's see what's on the news. Oh, yeah. This was a big story today. Let's bring this up. Make sure you guys can hear that.
Has been confirmed. She will soon take that seat. Tell everyone I'm Kira Phillips. Despite history, hurdles, and a lot of hard work, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson has been confirmed. She will soon take that seat on the highest court in the land, the first African-American woman to be called Justice. Justice is served, and I am told that KBJ was sitting next to the President of the United States in the Roosevelt Room at the White House for the historic moment. For more, let's bring in our roundtable of experts.
Oh, this should be good.
CK, everybody was telling me they could see you in the monitor. You were in tears. So go ahead. You have the floor.
I was trying to adjust my makeup. I was in tears. You know, there's a sense, Kira, of validation. When I say validation, she deserved to be there, much like Senator Schumer said, like Senator Booker said. She earned this day. Her experience led her to this moment. But there was
she did not earn this
sense
day.
Of validation as I watched this. When I watched the numbers increase, when I watched Senator Warnock from my state vote cast the 50th vote in support of her confirmation. That also moved me to a very important point.
We got a couple issues already, folks.
The contributions of Georgia with Senators Ossoff and Senators Warnock, the Democrats would not have had the majority. To see Vice President Kamala Harris standing there presiding over the proceeding, all
right, let's not go any further. This isn't worth 11 minutes of our time. So, first of all, she didn't. I can tell you right now, she didn't earn her way to that position. Okay, she didn't earn her way to that position. She was she was given that suggestion because of who she is. She's a female and she's black. She was born that way. So she didn't have to earn it. So that right there is wrong. Number two, they just appointed a Supreme Court justice that is the most lax when it comes to sex offenses against children. And then when it gets called on, it blames everybody else but her when she had the opportunity to sentence these people for much longer terms. But she's been confirmed now. She's going to be on the Supreme Court. So, and the problem is, like I told you guys before, women, you know those special protections that the 19th Amendment grants you? They're gone. Because you now have a Supreme Court justice. Well, I mean, sorry, they're not gone. You just have one Supreme Court justice that can't rule on any case that involves any kind of discrimination against a woman. Why? She's on record saying she can't identify what a woman is. Therefore, you can't rule on whether or not something discriminated against a woman. You can't. You're on record. And if you do rule on it, well, that ruling's in trouble because you stated you can't make that determination. So congratulations. They're sitting there going, she's earned it. She's earned it. What, by being born? Because that's obviously the qualification. Joe Biden himself said it. So now just being born qualifies you for the Supreme Court. So, hey, James, we should try to get you nominated for the Supreme Court. Birth is the only qualification. So because you're living, you qualify under their standards. Just saying. That's what they've done, folks. That is what they've done. And like I said, they're running around touting it. She's earned it. No, she hasn't. She's probably got one of the worst judicial track records I've ever seen. Once again, she's insanely lenient on pedophiles. But she earned it. All right, let's go. Let's find another story here. It's got to be another one. All right, because, you know. Oh, yeah, here you go. This one's not very long, but, this is a blast. You know Obama was in the White House the other day, right? And everybody that was anybody showed up to go see the former commander-in-chief. Well, guess what? They got a problem.
The COVID outbreak in our nation's capital is spreading. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi just tested positive. This is the moment reporters found out as they were waiting for her to show up at a press conference.
Oh, goodness. Pelosi tested positive.
Could President Biden now be in jeopardy? 82-year-old Pelosi stood right beside him yesterday. Not a mask in sight. They were also together on Tuesday when former President Obama visited the White House to all that hoopla. She even kissed him on the cheek. Obama got a big hug.
She's currently asymptomatic, fully vaccinated, and boosted.
Dozens of lawmakers and Washington insiders have come down with COVID. The outbreak traced to the Gridiron Club's annual dinner, a highlight of the D.C. social calendar. Elite D.C. appears to be getting pummeled with COVID, reports Politico.
Has the president expressed any surprise or amazement that there's a number of cases around him?
No. He knows there are a number of steps and precautions that we put in place and we take to protect him.
COVID cases are also on the rise in New York, LA, and San Francisco, all sparked by the highly contagious BA2 Omicron subvariant. One major concern: weddings. 2022 is the year of the wedding. 2.5 million couples are expected to tie the knot this year. That's 25% more than last year. Now, many couples are taking extra precautions to make sure.
That is like the dumbest report ever. I wonder why. It's because there's not lockdowns like there was last year. So now everybody can come to the wedding.
Sure, their big day isn't a super spreader. Jenna Mantis and Sam Cutler are getting married in Connecticut in 3 weeks. They're asking all their guests to provide proof of vaccination.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go, folks. The insanity. It returns.
Including a booster shot, and everyone must test negative the day of the wedding.
A wedding is really a gathering of your closest friends and family, the people that you care about most, and we want to keep those people safe.
We asked Dr. Anne Ramoyne, if you're invited to a wedding, what should you do?
If you're at high risk, you should really consider, is going to the wedding worth it for you?
Oh, joy. It just, the insanity gets worse. Oh, man. Now she wants you to not only prove that you've gotten the vaccines, but then you got to test before you go to prove that you don't have it. You know, you got to test negative the day of the wedding, and you got to get your results back. So you got to go get one of those immediate tests, and then you could go if you're negative. You know what I'd tell my friend if they told me I had to go through all those hoops? First of all, I can't have the vaccine, so I wouldn't be able to go anyway, because I had this thing twice called pericarditis, and so I can't. The vaccines aren't safe for me. So I couldn't go to the wedding anyway. But if I was her friend, I mean, first of all, that girl looks like somebody needs to feed her. She looks like somebody locked her in a basement and hadn't been feeding her. I mean, her eyes are sunk in, her cheeks are all narrowed. I mean, ugh. I don't know what kind of makeup they're going to have to do, but damn. They got some work ahead of them. And you sit there and go, and you act like weddings are going to be up 25% this year. Well, no shit. I wonder why. And they act like that crap's news, man. I mean, that's sad. Did I tell you how slow of a news day this really is? I love the fact that they decided that the only news channels on here are going to be. Oh, here's a good one. This is a good one for you guys. It's not really news. Or, well, that wasn't really news, except for the fact is Obama shows up at the White House, and now Nancy Pelosi tests positive. Nancy Pelosi went around in her drunken stupor like usual, hugging and kissing everybody. Because that's what Nancy Pelosi does. The bad part about it is that woman drinks so damn much that I don't think this virus could affect her. I really don't. Because it can't attach to anything. The virus will get drunk, get lost, and fall out of her body. But it is what it is. All right, so here's this next one. This comes from the AP. Let's bring it up here, and off we go, folks.
The chair will receive a message from the Senate.
Mr. Speaker, a message from the Senate.
Mr. Speaker.
Madam Secretary.
I have been directed by the Senate to inform the House that the Senate has passed with an amendment, H.R. 6968.
We must immediately and move to further punish Vladimir Putin, a ruthless dictator hell-bent on destroying an independent nation that he purports to suggest doesn't really exist. That will come as a vast surprise to the civilized nations of the world. Congress must do what we can to end this brutality and continue to support the Ukrainian people.
The bill also strengthens the sanctions by ensuring that before the ban can be lifted, Russia must meet 3 clear criteria: withdraws its forces from Ukraine, poses no immediate military threat of aggression to NATO, and recognizes the right of the people of Ukraine to independently, freely choose their own government. This is an important bipartisan victory. There is still more we can do and should do.
The question is, will the House suspend the rules and concur in the Senate amendment? Members will record their votes by electronic device. This is a 15-minute vote.
Okay, so basically what I'm trying to, what
on
happens
this vote,
here?
The yeas are 413, the nays are 9, 2/3 being in the affirmative. The rules are suspended. The Senate amendment is agreed to, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Madam Speaker, Russian President Vladimir Putin has cemented himself in history as an evil war criminal. I would like to use the remainder of my time for the brief moment of silence to remember these victims and their families in Bucha and across Ukraine, realizing that historically, in this 21st century, this is the test of our time, and the world is watching.
All right. Let's see here. Trying to do a couple different things at the same time. Okay, so what does that do? You're probably wondering yourself, what does that do? Well, basically what this does is now the United States has gone on record to say that now they've suspended the trade status with Russia, and what that means is now we're right now not going to do any trades whatsoever with Russia until they abide by those conditions. Now, does that do anything? Well, when it comes to the world market, like you're probably wondering, okay, the big topic about that is, does it do anything like about the oil? Are we going to see a change with oil? Well, the thing is Russia sells that to the global market, and then countries buy out of the global market. So you could say, oh, I'll take my oil without Russian oil. You could try that, but the problem is more than likely you're going to end up getting it because it's great. The oil is put together and it's graded by level based on purity. So Russia may produce, say Russia produces 1 million barrels tomorrow. And let's just say 250,000 of those barrels are grade B. 250,000 is grade A. 250,000 is grade AA. And 250,000 is grade AAA. AAA being mostly what they try to use for fuel, things like that, highest quality. Okay. Now that 250,000 of that AAA will go into the AAA market, and it gets intertwined with AAA oil out of Venezuela or Saudi Arabia or so forth, and then countries purchase it. So Russia will still be able to sell its oil as long as the world oil market, as long as OPEC, the organization that OPEC regulates, is still purchasing oil from all the different countries and putting it on the market to sell. So that doesn't necessarily stop, hey Dean, that doesn't stop Russia from being able to sell oil, which is one of their number one money makers. But what this does do is the United States, now here's the thing, the United States will not sell goods to Russia, but now the United States is not going to purchase stuff from Russia. You're going to see some things rise in prices because of this. Now, I know a lot of people said, hey, I don't have a problem if I have to pay higher prices on stuff that would normally come out of Russia because now it's not coming out of Russia, which means the amount of items is going to diminish, which is going to raise the prices. That's fine, but that does also include oil availability on the same standpoint. So just so you know, I understand the point, but understand it will come with a cost. But that's basically what they did. Is in that resolution, what they've done is they've agreed that they're not going to trade with Russia now. Okay. Here is something that a bunch of us here on the Gulf Coast and the East Coast need to be aware of. This information came out today. Now, this one came out from CBS. I did verify this while we were talking with Noah. So this is not, the only thing that sucks about this is I have to bring it up. Then I have to pause it. Then I have to rewind it, blow it up. It's a very complicated process. All right, so this comes from CBS local affiliate, but I did verify this with Noah while one of the videos was playing to make sure that this is accurate, and Noah is backing this statement up as well.
Get ready for a busy hurricane season. Today, researchers released their most active preseason forecast ever. This 2022 report comes from Colorado State University.
And researchers say they are expecting more tropical storms than normal this year. Our chief meteorologist, Eric Fisher, is back now. And Eric, why so many?
Yeah, so Colorado State is known for many, many years for issuing these tropical kind of outlooks for the season. We know it only takes one, so when it comes to the numbers, what really matters to us in the end is how many actually hit land and hit the United States and some of the islands. And so what we're looking at for this season is they're forecasting 19 named storms. Previously, the most that they had before a season began forecasted was 18. In 2021, we actually had 21 named storms. The average is 14. They're forecasting 9 hurricanes and 4 major hurricanes. And the reasons that they are forecasting this, you kind of look to the oceans, and they really dictate how the season may go. Well, currently, we're still seeing La Nina conditions in the Pacific. This is the stripe of cooler than average water. What La Nina does is it decreases wind shear in the Atlantic basin over near us. And when you have El Nino, it's the opposite. There's more wind shear. Tropical systems do not like wind shear. They also are noting that we have a very warm Atlantic basin here, and they correlate. They look at ocean temperatures from March to March, year to year, decade to decade. What kind of a setup creates active seasons and everything coming together for another active one this year? First named storm this year will be Alex, then Bonnie, Colin, and Danielle, and down we'll go throughout the list. The last one of the season would be Walter if we used all the names on the list in 2022.
Get ready for a...
Okay, so I tell you what we're going to do this year. I'll tell you what, I did this on my radio show a long time ago, and I'll do this this year as well. So, folks, they're predicting a much more active season this year than normal. So, they're claiming 19 named storms this year. So, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do this on the Rich Wilson Show. I want you guys to predict how many named storms we have, and at the end of the hurricane season, when we get the official end, not the, well, we're still getting hurricanes afterwards. From the very beginning to the very end, when the hurricane season officially begins and when it officially ends, guess how many named storms we have? And if you're right, I will buy you a free Rich, or you'll get a free Rich Wilson Show T-shirt, one of the T-shirts that we have up. Even if I have 30 different T-shirts by the time we get to the end of the season, you pick one of those shirts at the end of the season, and you'll get one for free. All right. So all you got to do is you got to, well, first of all, there's a couple things I want you to do. First of all, make sure you're subscribed and you got you're following either on Twitch, YouTube, whatnot. And then tell me how many named storms, the number that will actually have hit the United States. Well, no, let's not even say hit the United States. How many named storms in the Atlantic hurricane season? So this doesn't count for the Pacific. The Atlantic hurricane season. Right now the prediction is 19. Dean's already gone with 15. I know Dean follows us as well. So I know Facebook doesn't have a way for you to follow. But if you go to YouTube or if you go to Twitch and you click follow or subscribe, you can get entered into it. Or if you follow me on Rumble. But anyway, the number of storms, and if the person who either guesses it dead on, and I'll tell you what, even if I get 7 or 8 people that get it dead on, you're all getting a shirt. Okay? So, if you get the number right, you'll get a free t-shirt. You get one of your choice from the Rich Wilson Show store, and we'll send it to you. Okay? What you do is basically you pick the design, and then we'll send you that t-shirt. I'm not at home. I'm on my phone. That's fine, but if you want to click subscribe on one of those when you get home, as long as when you win, it shows that you're a subscriber or a follower of the show, then you're in. Okay, that's all you got to do, and you're entered in to win. But you only get to pick the number once. It's not like you can't go back, pick from 1 to 100 and enter 100 times. One entry, and see how it goes. All right. And like I said, if I get a dozen people that get it right, then a dozen people are getting a free shirt. All right. So we'll do that. So everybody's predicting, even Noah's predicting an overly active season this year. I mean, kind of every year. Kind of every year they do that. But I'm going to say it really looks like it's really looking like it's going to be that way. Here's another story real quick. I'm going to do this one. Then I think we're going to probably cut this show loose for tonight. And I apologize for the show content. I didn't do any real show prep for today. We've been running around buying stuff for this weekend. To go camping that's not an event. So I've just been kind of focused on that, and I apologize for that. I know that Monday will be a much better quality show. We're going to be talking about Disney on Monday. And the shit they've found out of that organization is crazy. But, all right, so let's talk about this one. Which, this one kind of shocked me that they did this.
We shall now begin the voting process.
That surprised me.
I call on you now, openly, to create such a new union of friends which will be able to save Ukrainians and Greeks in the south of Ukraine, which will help Mariupol. This city needs humanitarian aid. The city needs rescue. We need to save people, those who are wounded and still live there. Russia has been blocking Mariupol since the beginning of March on land and on the sea. The Russians do not even allow the basic humanitarian cargo to be delivered to the city. And I'm sure that the strength of Greece will help us to realize the mission. And time matters.
So there you go. That kind of shocked me, actually, that the UN voted to do that with Russia. That really did shock me. And why? Because the UN they're very well known for ignoring human atrocities. They're very well known about it. They're also very well known about accusing the United States of committing all kinds of atrocities. But the UN doing that. That was amazing. If they wanted to shock me further, they kick Russia out of the UN for doing what it's doing. And in fact, that should be their policy. If you're committing these kinds of atrocities, you're out. That would actually do something if they did that. But they're not going to kick them out. But to actually say that they took a stand and voted on Russia like that, and believe it or not, the vote was unanimous except for one country, and that was China. China voted no. Of course. But that surprised the ever-living hell out of me. It really did. You should be shocked. You really should. And, of course, the UN, same body of organization that blames the United States for all of its atrocities and everything else. Oh, we're horrible fucking people. But anyway, so that was actually something that happened today that surprised the hell out of me when that happened. And I was like, they did what? Really? By the way, folks, if you didn't notice, while that sticker's up, that means that the phone lines are open if you did want to call in. If there's anything out there you guys want to talk about, the floor is yours. Feel free to pop in and say anything in the chat that you want to talk about. I got Facebook going over here, YouTube, Twitch, and all that's over here on this screen. So we got 3 different screens going here at the same time. And between me and Dave will tell you it gets confusing as all hell to try and work this operation out. And in fact, we're talking about adding more screens onto this at the same time. So then it's going to be a lot more confusing. But anyway, what are your guys' plans for the weekend? Like I said, we're going camping. It's no shock that I like the outside. I like going out in the outside. I like camping regardless of how I feel. Even if physically I don't feel up to it, I'll take a day of camping over sitting at the house all day. I just love it. Love camping. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there like, I go camping, but it's too expensive. Well, don't buy into their, well, if you go buy an electric car, you don't have to worry about the cost of gas. First of all, electric vehicle, okay. First of all, who the hell, not many of us can afford them. We got a hybrid. It's not terrible price-wise. And trust me when I say this, it saves some money on gas. But it does use fuel. But it also can run electric if it needs to. James said there's too many things to talk about. Well, I mean, yeah, there could be. But we mentioned one. But I get it. Nah, it's Thursday. It's the last show of the week. I didn't really do show prep. And I'm not giving you a good quality show, which is my fault. I will make sure I make up for it next week. This week been kind of scatterbrained. A lot of things have been going on. And I was trying to do some research for a good show this week. And didn't get that finished. And that kind of bummed me out to get stuff done for you guys. And so next week's going to be a much better format. Or much better show topics on the deal. So we just had kind of an off week. You know, it happens. But we'll be all right. Anyway, folks, so then on that note, I'm going to go ahead and cut us all loose from this. And I'm going to say that I'm going to call this a night. Like I said again, if you want to get in on that T-shirt giveaway contest, become a subscriber or a follower, and then give us the number that you think will be the names, how many name storms we'll actually have for the Atlantic hurricane season. So, all right, and if you get the number spot on, then you're automatic. If nobody guesses it, it's whoever's the closest without going over. So if you guess, like Dean guessed 15, and it turns out to be 16, and nobody guessed 16, then Dean and whoever guessed 15 would be accurate because they got to the closest without going over. If you say 17, it was 16, you lose. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, have yourselves a wonderful night. For everybody here at the world-famous Rich Wilson Show, I'm Rich Wilson, and you're not. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Dave, thanks for all that you do this week, and we'll catch you guys back here on Monday. For everybody here at the Rich Wilson Show, we'll see you. Good night. Bye-bye.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points